Hello, for those of you who don't know me, I'm insignificant, and this is my first presentation on rhetoric. While rhetoric traditionally applies to techniques of eloquence, persuasion, and motivation, I intend to use rhetoric as a term for an ideology that describes all communication. This presentation is designed to initiate that ideology and begins by exploring a single model that develops in complexity. The basic model for communication, called the rhetorical triangle, comes from Aristotle. It outlines the three fundamental elements of rhetoric and their relationship to each other. At the top of the triangle is the speaker. To the lower right is the speaker's subject, and to the lower left, an audience. But in order for communication to work, the audience and the speaker must have a relationship. The audience must have some ability to comprehend the subject, and the subject must be something that the speaker actually knows. That's as much complexity as the basic model can bear. The intermediate model moves from the three elements to the factors of context, intent, and effect. Context is the particular charge and condition of time and place in which communication is given. Since all communication must take place within time and place, context is represented by a circle that encompasses the rhetorical triangle. Communication is made and received with an aim in mind. That aim is at the center of communication and is labeled intent. What happens as a result of communication is the effect. With these elements and factors working in unison, the intermediate model lays out everything needed for critical analysis of communication. As William Lutz put it, answering these questions: who is saying what, to whom, under what conditions, with what intent, and with what results, will usually help you identify rhetoric, particularly that manipulative form Lutz called doublespeak. The final evolution of this model brings into consideration the factors influencing a speaker to know and communicate something in the first place, and also returns to Aristotle with presentation of his appeals as both natural facility and calculated appeal. The prompting to know and communicate a subject is a simple matter of phenomenology. If there's an effect, there must have been a cause. The pathways between speaker and subject and audience and speaker, are a matter of natural facility. The pathway between speaker and subject is logos, because the speaker can only approach an understanding of the subject by way of cognition. The pathway between subject and audience is pathos, which is complicated, but in terms of natural facility, it's easiest to consider pathos as device, specifically the device of language. Communication full of device but devoid of meaning is as pathetic as a person devoid of original thought but full of fancy possessions. The pathway between audience and speaker is ethos, which is about the respect accorded to and from each. The modes of argumentation are all appeals to these natural facilities. As appeals, they are all devices and therefore find category under the pathway of subject and audience. Appeals to logos, pathos, and ethos are all matter of pathos that a speaker's intent must go through in order to achieve a desired effect. Now that's an overview of rhetoric as presented in an evolving model. And here's a review of the terms. There's some geometry involving triangles, circles, and arrows. Elements include speaker, subject, and audience. And factors are context, which is time and space, intent, and cause-effect. Appeals, as natural facility, is logos, which is cognition, pathos, which is device, specifically language, and ethos, which is respect. When appeals are calculated, that would mean logos is logic, pathos, emotion, and ethos, authority.